Oh, oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I've been a little busy out in the ocean for a little while, for about too long. So I'm gonna have to start, making some more videos. I know you might be saying it may be a little hard to make a video out in the ocean, but I have a solution to this. Boom! I've been working on this for a long time. About months. I've been working on this for months. And it works enough for me to be able to make a video on it now. So, why don't we begin by entering VR? Okay, let's begin. Oh my god, it worked! Oh, it's a lot nicer than I thought it'd be in here. Alrighty, so I don't know what game we're playing today because this headset's a little wonky and it only shows one game every day. It's always gonna be a different game. So I don't know what game it's gonna be. So why don't we just figure it out? Apparently I'm gonna be playing RAFT today. It's probably funner when you're playing in a house and not on a raft, like RAFT. But you know what? It's fine because it's fine. So where do I begin? And this is RAFT. Honestly, it makes me feel like I'm not even in VR. Yeah, I don't believe you. Alright, where do we begin a new game? Let's name it Cat! And why don't we select Peaceful? Alrighty, so you start here on a nice little raft. So you automatically spawn with a nice little hook in your inventory, and the only thing you can do is yeet that thing into the ocean and collect stuff that floats by your raft. Alrighty, so I begin by expanding my raft with a building hammer, and I just start to make this raft nice and livable, so I can live on the raft. Every once in a while you will come across an island. You're able to go on top of the island and get wood and stuff like that. Or you're able to go underwater and get sand, clay, scraps of metal, or stuff like that. Not long after playing, we get blueprints for a receiver and blueprints for antenna. And when you finally build the receiver and the 3 antennae, you need a battery for it to charge. But when you get the battery done, then it gives you coordinates. And after such a long trip, you finally make it to the radio tower. And inside the radio tower is, just a bunch of junk. Plastic scraps, metal scraps, wood scraps. But the main thing we're looking for is at the very top of the radio tower. On a whiteboard is a little paper that says people and has coordinates to a different location. And after exploring the radio tower and reading the notes, you're able to punch in your coordinates into your receiver. The number that we have to put in is 5985. And our next location seems to be 1,874 meters away from us. So are you ready for another long trip? And after another really, really long trip, get used to that, we finally reach a yacht. It leads us to a yacht. And inside the yacht is a very long and dark hallway. So I'm going to put on my headlight to actually be able to see anything. So the first thing you notice when you come in here is a engine room. And there's a locked door, but you're able to use the crowbar to open it. And then walking down another very dark and long hallway, you will come across a locker that is locked with a lock. That's a lot of lock. Lock. So how to open up this locker is you have to walk down a very long, and very dark hallway, and you have to grab a red key that is in the bathrooms for some odd reason, and the red key allows us to get into this door. And inside this room are 2 things that are very important. 2 tables with stuff on it. And the first thing says it requires 1 electrical wire, 1 lighter, 1 gas tank, and 1 bullet. And the other table says it requires 5 mechanical parts. And there's also bolt cutters in this room. And we're able to use the bolt cutters on the locker. And inside the locker is a blue key. And the blue key unlocks this door, which allows us to go to the rest of the yacht. And this is where we have to go hunting for the required parts, except for the gas tank. That can be found in the kitchen down in the basement. And the bullet can be found on this table bar. Inside this room has a safe that requires 1 4-digit code. And that 4-digit code can be found on this table. And now you have the 4-digit code to open up the safe. You can find the electrical wires in here. This door says it requires 1 key card, which can be found on the dance floor for some odd reason. And once you use the key card on the door, you will be able to find a green key. And that green key can be used to unlock this door. And inside this room is the lighter that we need. And now that we have the stuff to build this, we can build a bomb. Don't ask me how I know. And once you find the 5 mechanical parts, you are able to make a car jack. And you're able to use a car jack on this. I'm not 100% sure though, but I'm pretty sure it's a mini fridge. And inside this room is not really much except for a note. And the bomb can be used on this door. And inside the yacht's cockpit, you can find blueprints for an engine and blueprints for a steering wheel. And on the wheel of the ship is another little note that says Balboa. And with the coordinates in our hands, we can now head back to the raft and punch in the coordinates. And this time my code is 6751. And our next location looks like it's about 1,904 meters behind us-ish. And after another long trip, we finally arrived to oh my god, this island is huge. And welcome to Balboa Island. Luckily we have this trusty dusty little map that tells us exactly where to go. So, there are 3 things that we need to go to. We have Ranger Station 2, Ranger Station 4, and Ranger Station 6. And we have to go to each and every single one of them and activate them to get the coordinates to our next location. It might sound easy just to go to a couple of relay stations, but it's a little bit difficult, and let's talk about it. So let's begin with relay station number 2. Relay station number 2 might be one of the easiest relay stations to get to. All you have to do is go through this hardcore maze thing that's full of acid. Okay, that sounds a little hard, but it's easy enough. Once you got into Relay Station 2, you're able to flick that switch and knife to death 3 more times. 2 more times. Dang it. Relay Station number 4 is the next easy one you're able to get to. All you need to do is pick up a rock and absolutely yeet it across this canyon and hit a little lever that knocks down a bridge. And now that you're in Relay Station 4, you're able to flick that switch, and now you only have to do that 1 more time. But Relay Station number 6 isn't that easy. When you try to get there, there is a little bit of a blockade that's in your way. Now apparently you can't just push the vines out of the way, you have to get a machete and cut the vines down. To get the machete, you have to get 5 wild blueberries, and then you have to put those 5 wild blueberries into this basket to distract Mama Bear. And now that you have Mama Bear distracted, you're able to go into this cave. And for some odd reason, somebody left blueprints and a machete in here. I don't know why. And now that you have the machete, you're able to go back to the vines and cut them down. Finally getting access to relay station number 6. Now all you have to do is flick that switch, and there's the code right there on the monitor. 5737 5737 5370 5370 is the coordinates to the next location. And getting back to your raft, punching those coordinates in, you'll find out that the next location is 1,921 meters to the right. Ready for another long trip? Let's begin! We're here now. Welcome to Caravan Town, where we have plenty of caravans, and it's definitely a town. Trust me. Please. Okay, so Caravan Town is a little complicated, mostly because of how cluttered it is. So on the top of this giant tower in the middle of everything is a little table that says that it requires 3 zipline parts. We have to find these 3 zipline parts, which is not easy at all. Well, it's a little easy. The first zipline part can be found near the docks. There's a whole bunch of pipes leading to a well, and down in the well is a zipline part. So how do we fill up this well? Well, with water. But getting the water from up here all the way down here is a little hard. You have to align these pipes so the water can actually flow through them. When you finally align all the pipes, water will flow right through them and right into the well. The well will fill, and you will get the zipline part. The second zipline part is deep, deep, deep underwater. So deep to the point where you can't even just swim directly towards it. Instead, you have to go from air pocket to air pocket, getting a little bit of air in each air pocket. At the very bottom, you'll get your zipline part. And the third and final zipline part is in this rocket ship, which requires 1 explosive powder. So let's talk about how to get explosive powder. So you first have to kill a fish to get explosive goo. And then you have to smelt that explosive goo into explosive powder, and then use that powder to ignite the rocket ship. And the rocket ship launches into the air and explodes. And that was a failure. But at least we get the third and final zipline part. Why was someone trying to send a zipline part into space? I don't know. But at least we have it. Now that we have the 3 zipline parts, we're able to go back to the main tower, build the zipline, use the zipline, and using the zipline, we're able to go to the infirmary. Infirmary? Infirmary. 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 Hold on, let me look this up.
Infirmary.
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 That sounds like a weird word. Infirmary.
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 And inside the
Infirmary.
we're able to get the mayor's chest key. And now we're able to go to the mayor's office. In the mayor's office, there is a table that says requires 3 battery charger parts. Those 3 battery charger parts are scattered just everywhere across the town. So instead of telling you where they are, because that'd be very difficult to explain, I can just show you images. And now that you have the 3 battery charger parts, you're able to build a battery charger. Back to the mayor's chest key. Now that you have the mayor's chest key, you're able to open up the mayor's chest, which has a note in it. 6404 seems to be our magic number, so we're able to punch out into our receiver and find out that it's 1,808 meters away from us. So let's go on another long trip. Yay! And we're here now. City. Tangaroa. The first thing you might notice is there's no way in the big bubble city except for the entrance that the arrows are pointing towards. Once you go into that entrance, you'll be greeted with a sign. The main area that we have to go to right now is the generator. When you finally get to the generator, you might notice that it's not on because it needs electricity parts. I'm not sure what this is. So you have to go back and find those little boxes. The first generator part can be found at the cafeteria's kitchen. The next generator part can be found right outside the cafeteria, right through this long hallway. And the last generator part can be found in the generator room, but not at the generator. And now that you have the 3 generator parts, you can slap them in and start up the generator. And now you have a nice little puzzle to solve. You have to line up these cargo containers with the tape that's on top of them to make a little path so you can go through. And this took me a while. Now that the entire basement is flooding because you had to open that door, you have to go back to the generator and climb this ladder. And now that you're up here, you're able to go to the plantation, which is a little electrified right now. That can't be good for the plants. So what you have to do is, there is a little electric box that has wires cut. So what you have to do is get 3 duct tape and tape that back up. But there is no more tape in the plantation. So what you're gonna have to do is go out into the city and go into the buildings and find tape. But the doors to every single building is locked. So what you have to do is attack and disable temporarily the robots, and they will give you a key card. So every single building can have up to 2 pieces of tape, and you need 9 of them. So you gotta go into every single building and collect tape. And now that you finally have enough tape, you're able to go back into the plantation and use the tape. You finally get access to the elevator. And then you have to go through some buildings, and then you finally get to the right building that has a zip line that's going right to the giant tower in the middle. And once you finally have the giant tower, you're able to go up the ladder. And now you need a 4-digit code. Luckily, there's a hint at what the code can be. So the VR arcade has a number 4 on it, so the first digit is 4. The burger restaurant has an 8 on it, so the second digit is 8. The barber shop has a 1 on it, so the third digit is a 1. And the last building has a 3 on it, so the last digit will be 3. 4813 is the code to the keypad. That looked rough. Now that you've successfully popped off the top of the building, you are able to go back on your raft and float right over to it. And in here is a little sticky note that says Varuna. Varuna? Varuna. 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 Now that we have the coordinates, we're able to go back to our raft and punch that in. 1242 is the coordinates to our next location. And our next location is 2,002 meters behind us. Oh, that must have sucked. You're building your building and you can't finish building your building because your building gets flooded because the earth gets flooded for no absolute reason. Ah! The first thing you have to do is go to the tippy top of the crane and struggle to do some parkour. Once you're up here, you realize that it requires a crane key. So what you gotta do is go underneath the water, go into this little hole, then go into the rooms and find the spotlight parts. You gotta find 4 of them. Once you've found your 4 spotlight parts, you gotta go over to this bridge and put the spotlight parts into this spotlight. Once you're in the building, you gotta wander around a little bit. Make sure you don't get hit by these booby traps. And now that you've wandered around a little bit, you can finally pick up the mother load key. There's more wandering around you have to do. There is a lot of it. Now you're at these push doors, you're able to go out into the water and use this map on the wall to go to the mother load. Once you're at the mother load, you're able to use the key to open up this door. And guess what? There's more wandering around. Now that the giant rhino shark has bursted through the door, you gotta fight him. And how to fight this boss battle is a little easy/complicated. So, what you gotta do is make the rhino shark charge at you, but you gotta make sure he hits one of these 4 poles and not just the door again. Now that one of the poles are broken, you're able to grab these explosive barrels and shove it in there. And now you gotta make him hit the same exact pole again. And once he's hit the thing, it'll explode and then he'll wander off. But then the ceiling breaks open and you have to go up and do it all over again. But now there's only 2 poles and he has to hit it twice for it to break. Once it's broken, you're able to put the explosive barrel in the pole and then he'll hit it and it'll explode. And then he'll wander off and break open the ceiling again. And now you gotta do it 1 more time. But there's only 1 pole, and the pole needs to be hit 3 times for it to actually break. Once it's broken, put the explosive barrel in there, make him hit it, and then he's finally dead. And it's safe to say that you get a lot of shark meat. Once you finally killed him, you're able to go into this room, which has blueprints for a wind turbine and the crane key. Now that you have the crane key, you're able to go back to the crane and use it. Now that the crane has smashed through the building, you're able to zipline on down there and go into the hole. And then you get a little sticky note that says temperance on it. And now that you have the coordinates, you're able to go back to your raft and punch them into your receiver again. 0825 is the coordinates to our next location. And the next location is 1883. Oh, okay, let's do this again, I suppose. Yay. Ugh, looks cold. Darn. I always come prepared. Might not be enough. Well, that's why I always have a second. Okay, fine, it might still not be enough. Well, that's why I always bring 3 of them. I don't know where this one came from, so. It still doesn't look like it's gonna be warm enough though. So, yeah, I have 5. Completely forgot about my hands. Don't worry. I think, oh yes, I got some gloves. Alright, I'm ready to go to the cold area. I don't think the cold will be able to get to me. I'm going to be nice and warm. Hold on. I just realized I am playing a video game and I actually won't get cold. So I just put this suit on for no reason. Oh, thank God, we have to take this thing off. Great. And after another long ride, we have finally made it to Temperance. there are snow globes that need power. So, what you gotta do is go to these radio towers, or whatever they are, and you have to yank out the wires. And now that you have the wires, you're able to connect the generator to the giant snow globe via connecting the wires to different little things, if that makes any sense. It should. And now that you have the main snow globe open, you're able to go into it, and it will give you a blowtorch. And now that you have the blowtorch, you're able to go to this giant building and melt the ice on this block. But now you just need the key, which will be found in this building. Great. Now that the floor beneath us has crumbled to pieces, we have to go swimming to find another way in. And now you're in. Building. And there's a little note with a hook on it, and it's 3 out of 4. We only have 1 of them. And then we get a second note, 2 out of 4, with this weird spiky ball creature. And then we get another note, which is 4 out of 4, and it's a raft. And then we get another note, 1 out of 4, which is a weird chicken. There's this panel with a monitor on it, which shows what the telescope is seeing. And what we gotta do is figure out the puzzle to get the code so we can open up this safe. And this puzzle took me forever. But after hours, well, maybe not hours, but after a long time of just fiddling around, I finally figured out what the puzzle is. What you have to do is look at the little notes that you got, and the images on the notes will represent stars. And you have to count the brightest stars that you can see in the image. And how you figure out how you have to count the stars is via these little posters that are on the wall with numbers on them. And after counting up the stars, you'll get your code. 5964 is the code that I got. And now that we have the key, we're able to go back to the building and unlock the big door. And here the puzzle is you have to put on a hazmat suit and then go into these laboratories. And once you're in the laboratory, the first thing you'll notice is there's a big locked door, and that there is monitors with letters on them. And the last thing you'll notice is there's posters with numbers on them. And you put 2 and 2 together, and you realize that you have to match the colors of the posters and colors of the monitors to get the code for that computer. But you can't put in the code for one computer and then go wander off and then figure out what the code for the next computer is, because once you put in the code for the first computer, there will be a timer that begins. So you have to memorize what the numbers are for each computer. Once you finally remembered what the numbers are and finally put in the code, you're able to unlock the door. And once you wandered around a little bit, you pick up a control rod. In this next room, you have to kill off these ginormous mutated bugs, and then you're able to crank this crank and open up the door. And then you'll get your second control rod. The next room, there will be a door locked by a panel, and what you have to do is line up lasers with mirrors, so then one of the lasers will eventually hit the panel, destroying it, opening up the door. And you gotta do that a couple more times, and then you finally get your third and final control rod. And then you put the control rods into here, and then the machine gives you a key. That key will open up this door, which will lead you down into here. And then you have to kill more bugs and turn more cranks. And once you've turned all 3 cranks, the mutation acid thing will be gone. And then you're able to go into this frozen room and go to this laptop, which will have a sticky note on it that says Utopia. And now that you have the coordinates to the next location, you're able to go back to your raft and then punch those coordinates into your receiver again. And next location is 1,818 meters to the left of us. Okay. Let's just go on another long trip. Okay. And after a long trip, you finally make it to Utopia. At least these buildings got finished before the flood. And now that you're at Utopia, you're able to find these water circle things. And there's pipes leading to this giant water pump. But it doesn't work because it needs electricity. And this generator requires an electric cable. So the cables are scattered around, but you can't reach them normally. But what you have to do is grab these boxes and stack them up so you're able to climb the boxes, which gets you to the cables. When you finally have all the cables, you're able to connect from this generator that actually is getting power. And then you have to connect the wires all the way up to power towers thingers. And then when you have all the power tower thingers connected, you're able to get the generator that you need connected, which is finally making power flow through. AKA, you're finally running water. And then when you have water flowing, you have to go to the water circle things and align the pipes are in the water circle so that you can keep the water flowing. Once you have all the water flowing, you'll fill up this giant water container and get a carbon dioxide canister. This house is locked by a 3-digit code, but luckily there is a map that shows you where the 3 parts of the 3-digit code are located. So what you have to do is grab a shovel and start digging in those locations. Once you have the 3-digit code, you can finally go into the house. And then inside the house, you can find a ginormous harpoon. And then you're able to use the carbon dioxide canister and the harpoon to shoot this harpoon gun. And then you're able to zip line your way down into the building. And then for some odd reason, my footage stops recording. But luckily, you didn't miss much. I can just show you images of later of what I saw. This door was locked behind 2 locks, and you need 2 keys. The first key you actually did see me pick up. It was in the building where the harpoon destroyed. And then the second key was in front of this building, which is off to the right of this door. And then you're able to use the keys to open up this door, and then you go into the elevator. And then the elevator is open to the very complicated, very hard to look at floor of Utopia. And this door is locked behind 1 lock, and you need a hammer to open it. So you have to go through this little parkour place. Don't get hit by a fan or else you will fall off. And then at the very end, you'll find your hammer. There's also this elevator that is missing a cogwheel. So then you go back and use the hammer on the lock.
I will only say this once. Leave on your raft. Leave Utopia to me. Or else the forward scouts end with you.
Okay, fine, just run away, see if I care. So Olaf runs away to some other place and magically closes a bridge behind him. And this puzzle is a little complicated. So what you have to do is get a cogwheel up to the top of this floor via using boxes and weights and figuring it out. Or another way of figuring it out is... But when you finally got the cogwheel over to the other side, you're able to use it on this bridge, and the bridge will fall.
Look around! The filthy rafter builders turned luxury apartments into a scrapyard. Relieving them of the responsibility was the only decent thing I could do for them. I can't believe how ungrateful all of you are.
Oh, so he's gonna run away again. I see how it is. And then you have to do it again, but with a couple extra floors. Once you finally got a cogwheel to the other side, you're able to use it on this little machine, which will push out some stairs so you're able to walk down. And now that you're back down here, you're able to put the cogwheel on this little platform and send it off. And then you have to go through this fan maze again, and then use the cogwheel on this elevator. And now that you're up here, you have to build a little box tower to get up to the second floor.
You had your chance to leave, but you just won't listen! So fine, have it your way. Welcome to Utopia!
Oh, so you're not gonna run away this time. What are you gonna do now?
Stand still!
Oh my god, you're gonna throw bombs at me? So here what you have to do is make another box tower, but this time there's bombs just everywhere, and fire and destruction and chaos. But after a while, you'll make your box tower.
Tactical retreat! Regroup! Regroup! Infantry! Ready yourselves for charge!
Okay, you're just gonna run away again? Okay. Fine.
How stupid are you? I am the only reason any of you are alive! Me! I made this place real! My investment! Mine! Each and every one of you should bow down before me! The ocean broke the forward scouts. Now my army will finish the job.
And then here you have to build another box tower with more bombs, but this time there's hyenas attacking you. Except for me, because I was on peaceful.
Useless! All of you! This will be your end!
So after him running away from you again, you walk into this battle arena.
Of all my creations, Alpha is a true warrior, a survivor. You see, the weak are singled out, the strong remain. You forward scouts were the same. You build yourselves up from nothing. You keep going until you encounter something stronger. Alpha, in position! Kill!
And now you have to fight his ginormous mutated creature, hyena thing. Couple whacks with machete and he's down.
Alpha, you failure! All of this for nothing! Get back! There's nothing you can do! Stay away! All of this is mine! You think you can change anything? I am your savior! Cut me down!
Now that we've finally taken the key from Olaf, we're able to head back to this building and open up the door.
When the ocean itself broke civilization, the survivors were left with nothing. Yet, they persisted. The forward scouts rose up from the wreckage, defied our flooded world, and brought back hope. Now Utopia stands free once again thanks to their actions. With this final chance, we can begin the slow and difficult road to recovery. From today on, we are all forward scouts, ready to discover the next step for humanity.
And now we're able to just, walk around, talk to people, head back to our raft, go rafting some more. Now that everyone's free, we're able to talk to everyone, wander around, talk to more people, wander some more around, and head back to our raft. And yeah. And that was Raft. I do feel like the game would have been different on a different difficulty. Because I did peaceful. If I did like normal, then the shark would be attacking my raft, the seagulls would be attacking my food, and it would just be a little bit harder overall. But overall, Raft is a pretty good game. Now I want to be staring off into the sunset, because why not? Crash, bang, boom! What? Oh. Mouse! I found it! And that was Raft. Alright, so that was a pretty good game. Now that I found my home again, I don't have to be out in the ocean. Hopefully I start uploading more videos sooner. Probably not! And that was Raft. I can kind of see why it has a very positive rating on Steam. It's a very fun game. Especially when you're in the game pretty much. Alright, well that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I gotta go. I gotta go. I think I left the oven on, so I gotta turn that off, yeah.